Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Ladia. We have with us Mr. KVL Sarma, CEO at CCL Products, joining in. Welcome to the show, and it's a pleasure to have you with us, Mr. Sarma. My first question coming to you over here is with regards to where, even if you talk about the first quarter numbers, yes, there has been a downtake, but it was a given that any business has been impacted on the back of COVID right now. However, the important part is as to what are the kind of green shoots that are emerging from here. According to you, what's your assessment of the first quarter?
First quarter, yeah. First of all, it's my pleasure to join this program and good morning to all. Obviously, whether you like it or not, we have been impacted because there is a lockdown. So obviously, not only people's movement, everything was locked down, and it was for more than 1.5 months. So to that extent, we had to shut down the plants. But in our case, fortunately, what we have done in the early stages, these exemptions for essential commodities was allowed. And also within that, there was a dilemma in between statutory authorities whether coffee comes under as an essential commodity or not. Fortunately, Ministry of Home Affairs has given a clarification with regard to coffee and tea, which are also included in essentials. So that way, we were allowed to do some part of the job. So what we have done is we did the packing and other aspects where there is a lesser amount of manpower requirement. And of course, the main production plant has to be shut down because it is a continuous process plant. We cannot do it in batches or with a reduced capacities. And also because the difficulty has started right in March itself, we were having a large inventory with us, which could not be dispatched due to imposition of lockdown and all that by March. So during later part of April and May early beginning, the logistics things started working. So because this was working, we were able to liquidate the stocks that were there as on 31st March. But during this, from around May onwards, we started production as well. But since we were already supplying substantial quantities into the market, the dispatch schedules that were there for the month of May, we were asked to reschedule or postpone because they cannot receive the whole thing in a bunch. And Russia's lockdown, delayed lockdown in Russia has also added to some kind of a issue there because we have about 25% of our market in Russia. So these things put together, one thing is we have lost about 1.5 months production capacity. And for the balance, we are right now holding some additional inventories, which will be liquidated during second and third quarters. So we are expecting that the impact will not be much as of now compared to last year, because even in normal manufacturing industries also, we take working time as only 330 days.
Right.
Beyond that, there is only about 25 to 30 days was lost, which should be the impact overall. On the demand side, we are not seeing a major slowdown other than the reschedulements that were sought in the first and second quarters. Mostly by the time the season picks up for coffee, the season is from September onwards. When the winter sets in, the peak season commences. By the time these things get evened out, and we should be able to function normally on the inventory levels also. In our other factory in Vietnam, there was no major impact of COVID there. So as such, we were able to run to the full capacity. In fact, we got an additional order also. We have added a new customer, and then we have got an additional order. And fortunately, since we were able to produce also, on a YOY basis, we have almost achieved an 100% capacity in our Vietnam plant. So overall, we are expecting that there will not be, other than that 30-40 days additional production loss, we should be able to come back with the normal figures for this year.
Right. So with this right now, what's the kind of capacity utilization are we functioning at with regards to the Indian plants?
Indian plant in freeze-dried plant in our EOU, we could not operate in the first quarter. Spray-dried capacity, we have we have operated on a YOY basis, it should be about 60%, which has given that result that we could get during the first quarter. Currently, our SEZ plant is running and our EOU plant is running almost to the full capacity right now.
Right. And with regards to demand as well, as you mentioned, that Russia has been a concern right now. Demand is not picked up. But overall, every company on the consumption side, the issue was that the HoReCa sales, the institutional sales is something which has really gone down. In fact, it has been zero. Now, slowly, steadily, you are seeing, deliveries that have started to happen. And what in turn has happened is that off the shelf, the retail sales has picked up fabulous for all of the consumption brands. Taking that into consideration for CCL products as well, do you think that the retail sales has been able to actually offset the decline that we would have seen on the back of institutional sales?
We are talking with respect to our export market, no?
Yes.
In respect of export market, most of our supplies are to the brands. So brands in the supply chain going next to the supermarkets and others only. So wherever brands are there, there is no issue because offtake from supermarkets, the brand as such, is picking up. HoReCa segment on a bulk type, we have not have a major customers in that. Our major customers on the export market are brand owners, brands which will go through a repackers. So we have not seen exactly a drop down because of loss of consumption on HoReCa segment. But anyway, it seemed to be compensating with offtake from the supermarket shelves and other things. Where we are directly selling to supermarkets in Europe and other places, we have seen the traction has been there with more demand. In fact, they have prematurely they have renewed our contracts asking for additional quantities as such. So as you rightly said, the off-shelf pickups are substantially higher, which seem to be compensating for the HoReCa segment.
Right. And overall, if you see between the two categories as well, in terms of, if you talk about spray dried as well as if you talk about FD, what is the kind of trend that you're witnessing?
Normally, it will be in the range of 2:1 for FD and SD pickups. Of course, in times where deflationary trends, where things are difficult, because of its price advantage, spray dried powder will be in larger quantity. So we have seen this. In fact, this particular aspect we have seen because this year the demand for spray dried coffee is increasing. If you see our Vietnam plant, which is completely a spray dried plant, we have run to the full capacity. And even in the first quarter from Indian plant also, we have run the spray dried capacity in full capacity. Yes, there is a possibility this year that the product mix might be slightly be in favor of spray dried powder or spray granulated coffee this year. But the
And
quantity,
yeah, go on.
but the quantities that we are looking at in freeze-dried segment, particularly in the freeze-dried segment itself being a premium one, and coffee goes into the premium brands. We may not find a major degrowth in FD demand vis-a-vis our performance.
Right. So on the FD side as well, as we mentioned that the consumption has been slightly low right now. But do you think, especially if you have to talk about Russia, shipments, are they cancelled or are you seeing postponements happening? And maybe you will see an impact on a particular quarter. But if you have to look at FY21 as a whole, will we be, I mean, are you expecting the orders to remain intact? If not today, maybe they'll pick up the shipments, 3 months down the line. But do you see that happening?
Yeah. In fact, when we have mentioned this, the question is not about the cancellation of the contract. Either to no cancellation of contract or only deferment of shipments. What happened is, suppose I did not supply into the market from around 15th of March to the entire April. So month there were no shipments. Suddenly in May I was shipping the consignments slated for March and April. So if I continue to supply May shipments also, then there will be a dumping at the other end. What they wanted us to reschedule these May shipments into further next month or so, and slowly they are picking up. So most likely these reschedulements will go in second quarter and third quarter along with the respective months quantities. So that way there is no issue on that. On the demand side or on the reschedulement side, we are not seeing any major issue. The issue is that the capacity was already lost. See, since we are in a lockdown and we could not operate the plant from say around April 1st to 25th May or so, we did not absolutely close down the plant. So the capacity lost cannot be repaired. We were depending on our growth parameter, which we were thinking earlier that we will be able to achieve about 10 to 15% or so growth perspective. That might slightly come down because of the lost capacity, which is again a statutory compulsion. We wouldn't have done anything on that.
Right. And on the margin front as well, what's the trend you're expecting? Because everyone understands right now that the fixed cost for every company, for every manufacturer has been higher right now on the back of the lockdown. Now, on the gross margin front as well, we've almost gone to 8 quarters low. When do you expect normalcy to return on that front? And secondly, on the back of the product mix changing as well, what's the expectation on a consolidated basis?
No, but in fact, gross margin has not come down substantially even this quarter also. In stock adjustment, we have to remove in the stock adjustment of 11 crores that was there, remove manufacturing cost because we at ex factory cost. So you have to remove about 4 crores and then you will see the gross margin levels are in the range of 47% or so. Which is it's not substantially lower. Had a freeze-dried product been the major component in the product mix, it would have gone to 50%. Our average expectation with the 2:1 FD to SD mix, product mix ratio would have been about 50%. Only during this quarter, it has slightly come down because the spray dried component is substantially higher. Even in Vietnam, we have done large spray dried production, and within India also we have done the spray. So product mix this quarter has shifted to more to the spray dried. So that is why the gross margin looks to be slightly on the negative compared to the last quarter or so. But this will come back. Once we pick up our FD volumes and on a year-to-year basis, we achieve at least, even if we achieve last year's figures also, the gross profit margin will be recovered.
Right. And another question that I'm asking is, if you talk about the exposure that we have to the rural markets versus the urban markets, in the domestic market, any breakup that we have on that front?
Rural to urban.
Yes.
Yeah, it has slightly changed during this period, particularly in the domestic market. Domestic market, already Horeca segment, all that is gone now. They are not functioning, so bulk packs are not there. So what we have to do is we have to again change our packing strategy, and we have introduced these small packs, 2.3 gram packs, 1 gram packs, and all that, which will go to the general trade. So going to the general trade, you go to every nook and corner, small kirana shops, and sell it. So that way the spread is more during this first quarter, because we have to compulsively go into the both rural and urban markets with the product. But one major constraint within this is that in the general trade, the resource allocation is substantially. You need, even on the packing side also, there will be a lot of costs involved and all that. And then the resource allocation is substantially higher. Nevertheless, it adds to the brand value and brand visibility also. So we may have to continue with this during this year. In fact, our offtake of 2.3 grams, that sachets, which will go into the kirana shops, those luddy type of things, are in large number. In fact, the demand has increased tenfold. So now, many of the stores, many of the kirana shops, etc., we are seeing these ladies, and this is also working out well for us, because we have seen even in supermarkets also, because of the queues, social distancing queues, people are not willing to wait for a longer time. So whatever they can pick up from kirana stores, they are picking up. In such a case, the visibility and the product movement is better now. Margin front, maybe there is a slight stress because of the additional resource allocation for this product. But as of now, the brand building activity is on the positive side.
Right. So, if you have to talk about small packs as well, especially, which is really highly consumed in the rural areas, I think almost 10 to 15% of the consolidated sales right now for CCL products is from small packs. Do you think that could increase in FY21?
No. I need to clarify, there are two issues in this. These small packs are in the domestic market.
Correct.
The product itself is less than 10% of the total market size. And we also supply in small packs to the supermarkets directly overseas. In any case, giving small direct pack that can go into supermarkets is a value addition for the company, and then we will be getting additional margin for the same product only. So we are increasing our capacity. As you know, this year we are implementing a project which will take our packing capacity from the existing 3,000 to about 10,000 to 12,000. And in fact, what happened within this period, we have obtained one or two machines, particularly for the small packs, these pouches, etc. And installed in our Dugirala factory itself. So now we are augmenting our packing capacity to about 7,000 tons during this year, not going into the new project itself. And so our small pack capacity during this year would be more than last year by about 30 to 40% minimum. So to that extent, we can expect a value addition and a better margin in the product.
Right. And with regards to where the pods are concerned, how is the demand picking up on that front? Because that's another segment of business which has been growing. I mean, the growth has been at least in single digits in the non-Indian markets, but India has been picking up that segment as well. Do we see growth over there?
Pods we have not yet initiated. Right now we are doing only roast and ground coffee in Malgudi brand in ranging from 200 gram pack to 500 gram pack. And, looking at the packing options for the pods. So the pods would be a product that would be coming into market only next year. This year it will not be there.
Will not come. Right. And in terms of instant coffee market as well on a global basis, what is the breakup of in-house consumption versus out-of-home consumption?
Perhaps there are no authenticated figures on that as of now, but generally by the current trends, if we the out of home consumption has substantially come down. So maybe it will be in the range of about 70-30 right now.
Right. And overall as well, with regards to where, we spoke about the exports to Russia in the first quarter, which have seen some bit of a postponement. Now, in terms of the postponement of orders as well, what is the average duration of delay or postponement that the clients have been requesting right now?
Most possibly, I mean, see, May month's orders, it's about 1 month, 1.5 month, 1 month's postponements are there. What we should have dispatched in July, they asked us to dispatch in August. So there will be almost a 1 month delay in dispatches, which will get normalized by around September, October. September, October, normally the order size also will be higher. So by that time, this will be cleared. The inventory will be cleared. We are seeing that within second quarter and third quarter, that reschedulement thing will come to normalcy. And thereupon it's normal.
Right. And with regards to the freeze-dried capacity at the Dugirala plant, I understand, I think August is somewhere where we are looking to restart production there, right? So will it be in the first week of August, or do you think it will be staggered towards the end?
No, it will be in the first week of August.
Right. And very lastly, Mr. Sarma, for FY21, in volume terms, do you think we can expect almost 10,000 tons of volume in the Vietnam facility? I mean, that's 100% that I'm talking about in FY21. Do you think that's something which is a possibility, and what would the top line look like?
See, Vietnam facility is, I said that 100 utilization on a YOY basis for the first quarter. So first quarter we did 2,500 tons of our 10,000 ton capacity. So we said YOY basis, but at some point we need to take maintenance also.
Correct.
So overall, but we are also expecting that by the end of third quarter, we should be getting our additional capacity also into place. So most likely on a conservative basis, you could say we should be doing at least 90% utilization during this year. And we are targeting to do 105% because we have an additional capacity during the last quarter. But bare minimum would be 90% utilization.
Right. And very lastly, what's the trend that you're seeing, especially in terms of like global coffee prices go? Because on the back of excess supply, at least if I talk about the ICO indicator or the Brazilian naturals or robustas as well, the trend has been downwards right now. What's the pricing trend you're looking at?
One thing is it doesn't affect us in any way. As you know, the business model itself will cushion out. But problem is, since this coffee is a foreign exchange earner and it is grown in all developing countries, governments will support the farmers to retain the prices by way of giving interest-free loans and all that. So most likely, even if the quoted prices are low, we see a trend where adequate quantities will not be available. So when there is a deflationary trend, you cannot get the volumes that you wanted. So it will be a combination of the availability vis-a-vis the price that will matter particularly in our case.
Right. And on the cash flow trend as well, we are pretty much positive right now. So do you think, is there any requirement of fundraising, or we are self-sufficient?
We are self-sufficient. I mean, as scheduled, in fact, in our project, Indian project, 120
Correct.
crores expenditure, we have already tied up 50%. We do on a 1:1 debt equity. So 60 crores term loan we have already tied up. And that would be sufficient. We will be self-sufficient both in India and Vietnam also for the projects. We are not at all looking at any cash strain on cash flows or fund issues right now.
Right. So, all right, Mr. Sharma, it was pleasure talking to you. Great insights that we picked up as well. And I think the season is also perfect right now with regards to sipping hot cups of coffee sitting at home. So I think that's something which is going to work well for the companies as well. And that's what everyone is hoping right now under the rains.
Hope all of you staying at home are having good coffees as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So stay safe as well. And thank you so much. We will come back and speak to you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye.